Hello, what is up everybody, welcome to a brand new Division video. It's been a while, but here I am, back at it, with this time a classified gear set, which is Final Measure. And the way that I've built this build is to provide the most damage output and damage support to your whole team as possible, utilizing a few things. Now first off, I'm going to go over how my gear is rolled. And just before I do that, I want to just throw out there that this gear is nowhere near as optimized as I would like it to be, so there is much room for improvement in that area. As you can see, all pieces I have are rolled to their primary attribute being firearms, and that is of course to provide the most damage output that this build can provide. However, if you are going to use this build in PvP, which it is very good in very select situations, you will want to reroll at least one of these pieces to stamina for that extra toughness. For my chest piece, I have health, enemy armor damage, and increased kill XP. Ideally, that increased kill XP will be rerolled to ammo capacity, but I, however, cannot do that as I have already rerolled this piece twice. My backpack is rolled with critical hit damage and ammo capacity, which is the two attributes that I would advise going for, since health is not as useful as it used to be on your armor pieces. On my mask, I have it rolled with critical hit chance and damage to elites, which will both help you in the DPS area, especially in PvE with that damage to elites. On my gloves, I have assault rifle damage, as that is my main weapon of choice, critical hit damage, and health on kill. Ideally, health on kill will be rerolled to crit hit chance or skill haste. On my knee pads, I have health, which I could possibly reroll to give myself a little bit more damage, but I do like the survivability that I have right now. Burn resistance, disrupt resistance, and blind death resistance. Ideally, I would like to get one of the resistances rerolled to give me some more damage to elites to help me in PvE. And finally, on my holster, I have skill haste. This is just so I get my skills up faster than I usually would. If you want to go for a little bit more DPS, then reroll this to crit hit chance. And except from that, that does it for the gear piece rolls. Next, I'm going to quickly go over my mods and what I would change with them. As you see here on my chest, I have two electronics pieces. This is so I can get competent and adept on my weapons. However, I would like to change the health on the mods for critical hit chance, as health is not as useful as it used to be in previous patches. On my bag, I have a stamina mod with crit hit chance and two performance mods with pulse crit hit chance. On my mask, I have an electronics mod which again has health, but I would ideally like it to be crit hit chance. On my knees, another electronics mod that yet again I would like to ideally be crit hit chance, and a first aid self heal performance mod. And finally, on my holster, I have a first aid self heal mod. Now that does it for the mods. Let's get on to the weapons I've chose to run. I've chose to run with a lightweight M4 as this is one of the main weapons out there that works well with every single build. The perks I have on it is Deadly, Adept and Unforgiven, which are three of the better perks in my opinion. Not 100% a god roll, but pretty damn good. As my secondary, I have the M700 Tactical, just for that long range encounters where I need to sit back a little bit. And finally, as my sidearm, I have a tactical M1911 for the sole purpose to recharge my skills a little bit faster using cool-headed. And also, since I remembered people asking for this in the last video, here's the mods I'm using on my weapon. We have an extended magazine with magazine size, crit hit chance, and rate of fire. We have a 5.52 hollow sight with crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and headshot damage. We have an Omega rifle suppressor with headshot damage, crit hit chance, and reduced threat. And we have a angled grip with stability, reload speed, and crit hit damage on our M4. If you guys can go without the extra stability that the angled grip gives you, then you could probably switch that out for a little bit more crit hit damage or reload speed. Either or will serve you well, but since I am on console, the stability serves me well. And if you're wondering what mods I have on my M700 Tactical, I have a extended magazine with magazine size, crit hit chance and rate of fire, a VX1 scope with headshot damage, critical hit damage and critical hit chance, and lastly, an Omega rifle suppressor with headshot damage, crit hit chance, accuracy and reduced threat. The suppressor isn't the best, but it's the best I have available to me right now. Ideally, accuracy could be rolled to crit hit damage or something else that will provide a little bit more damage. The next thing you guys will want to know is what skills I am using. And firstly, I am using a pulse with tactical scanner to increase the damage that I inflict upon hostiles that are pulsed with this pulse. Of course, if it is in a PvP situation, switch out tactical scanner for the scrambler if your team is not already running one. And my other skill that I am using is booster shot to increase the damage and damage resistance for me and my teammates that I hit with this heal. If you guys are not comfortable having a very small heal, then go with the overdose mod with this, but in doing that you will sacrifice the extra damage and damage resistance from booster shot, which is quite significant. And for my signature skill I am using Tactical Link, as of course this is a DPS support build, and Tactical Link does just that. It supports you and your team with a huge buff in damage output. The talents I am using are basically the talents you want to run with every DPS build, and that is Critical Save, Combat Medic, One is None, and On the Move. Now that is it for the build. It is a very good build, not by far the best classified set there is out there, but really good as a DPS support build, as that 40% increase in damage, skill power, or armor provides invaluable in the situations where you defuse a nade with this set. Of course, since it is final measure, what you are going to want to do with this set is run into every single nade you see to defuse them. But what you want to make sure is you don't run into a nade when your final measure is on cooldown, as each time you defuse a nade, it will trigger an 8-second cooldown. Another thing that I have had trouble with in this build is defusing nades thrown by people that are using short bows knee pads. But short bows knee pads aren't really in the meta right now, so I don't run into that problem too much in skirmish. I have found that this build is most useful in PvE, especially in legendary missions and that sort, as the enemies seem to not care when they're throwing their nades and will provide you a almost consistent boost. And by far the best thing about this set is that it doesn't just buff you, it buffs your whole team. Every single group member within 30 meters of you will gain a buff to either their skill power, weapon damage, or armor, depending on what type of nade is thrown at you, which in my opinion provides invaluable in select PvP situations where you are maybe making a push, so they try and throw a frag back to stop you pushing, but no, you just sit on that frag, defuse it, and get a 40% weapon damage bonus, which increases everybody's DPS significantly and allows you to just quickly destroy them. It is also useful in situations where maybe you're getting pushed on. They throw an aid to aid their push, but you defuse it, get extra damage, and be able to push them away. Hope you guys enjoyed this build and enjoyed the little tips, tricks, and little hints that I did at the end. They probably were a little bit over the place, but hey ho. Let me know if you guys would like to see me do some more tips, tricks on builds and whatever in the future. And of course, there will be more builds coming your way as soon as I get them sorted. I just need to get the pieces myself. And aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like on the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel for plenty more Destiny. And Division content. And aside from that, I will see you guys in the next.